Hello and welcome to another episode of MPF Cooking, which is my Prime Fitness Cooking. Thanks for joining us, or joining me. In this episode I'll show you how to make ground turkey patties, which is a meal that I have at least once a week, and I have had this for the past 2 to 3 years because they're delicious and they complement many different types of meals. And you can kind of personalize it if you want one for a more Mexican style dish, or you can even make stir fry with ground turkey if you want to make stir fry with soy sauce and sriracha. So it's a very versatile meal. So you're going to need, for the ingredients, garlic powder and lemon peppers. These are the main two that I use. I really like the McCormick brand. If you have a seasoning that you really like, feel free to add that as well, like if chili powder or garlic powder. I use olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. I use 93% lean ground beef. Prepare it on one of these big plates, and then you need a medium or small sized skillet / frying pan and spatula. So before we begin preparing them, I'm going to go ahead and turn the stove on medium low to begin letting the skillet heat up, because it doesn't take long to prepare the ground turkey. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, so let's start preparing these ground turkeys patties. So I use about 1/5 of a pound, and this is 1 pound, so I use about 1/5 per patty. Go ahead and slice it up. This is quarters. Well, it's uneven, but I'll show you how big I make them. So go ahead and grab one of them. If you're in a hurry, you can pretty much just leave it in the rectangular form. I kind of like to make them circular, so of course I already washed my hands. So go ahead and make it into a circle. I have it make it about 1/4 to a 1/2 inch thick. If you're in a rush, then I would make it thinner, around 1/4, so it cooks faster. Okay, so that's about good right there. So it's close to the size of my closed fist. So if you want something you can use as a scale, I'm gonna go ahead and prepare 2 of these bad boys here. Let's get the other one going. Now it's going to shrink a little bit when you cook it from the water and fat cooking and evaporating. So let's get the second one. Alright, so that looks pretty good right there. Let me clean my hands a little bit. Now I begin by coating it with a nice layer of garlic powder. This is the base that I like to use. So kind of do it side to side. Make sure you cover all of it. Get the next one. And remember, I already have the skillet heating up on medium low. Lemon pepper. Go ahead and get it nice and covered. Try not to get any on the counter. Alright, so that's pretty good right there. It's about how much I put. Then I kind of pat it down so it doesn't, so too much of it doesn't come off whenever I transfer it to the skillet. Alright, so that's what it looks like right there. Now we're going to go ahead and transfer it over to the skillet. Alright, so the ground turkey patties are all seasoned and ready to go. Now that we're about to put it on the skillet, I'm going to go ahead and increase the heat to just above medium. And let's get the olive oil. Since the ground turkey already has fat to begin with, I use very little olive oil so that the ground turkeys can cook with their own fats. You don't really need that much. So I only pour about maybe the size of 2/4, but you really don't need that much. Go ahead and let the oil spread all over the skillet, and then we're going to place the ground turkeys seasoning facing down. Try to keep them in their shape. Boom, 1 and 2. Now, you don't really need one of these, but it really helps to prevent making a mess when the oil starts splashing around. So we cook it right above medium heat, and I usually let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. Of course, I'm a lot more familiar with how long it takes, pretty much till it almost starts to get a little that burnt, a little crisp, which is when we'll flip it. So we'll check back in about 5 to 8 minutes. All right, so it's been about 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and flip the patties. Once it starts smelling like it's almost burning, that's pretty much the best time to do it. So go ahead and flip them. See how it has that little crisp / char right here. It's similar to when you get on when you're making burgers on the grill, which is what you want, because that lets that lemon pepper and garlic powder really intensify in flavor. So once you flip them, go ahead and lower the heat to just a little bit below medium. You're going to let this cook a little longer, probably closer to 8 to 10 minutes as opposed to 5 or 6. So heat is below medium. We have flipped them, and now I'm just going to leave them here, and we will check back, like I said, in about 8 minutes. Alright, so it's been about 6 to 7 minutes. Now, since we're working with ground turkey, which is poultry, we want to make sure they're well cooked, that there isn't any raw middle like you might want in a burger or steak. Let's go ahead and take a look. Before you move them around, make sure that they're not stuck, so kind of scoop them up from underneath. And then what I like to do is press on them. You want to make sure to get all the juice inside. See how this one's a little more plumpy? You can go ahead and get all of that out. Just press down with a good amount of force. And now we're going to do one more flip to let the top get nice and crispy again. So go ahead and flip it. If you see these marks right here on the underside, then you know you're in good shape, because like I said, you want it to be well cooked, and the little char marks are always a good sign. So you can go ahead and press it down a little bit. If it's undercooked, then when you press down, you'll get a lot of juice. So that's why I press on it before I flip it. But like I said, we see the char marks, so we're looking good here. Go ahead and press on it again. Kind of move it around. So from this point, it's just going to be about 5 more minutes, and it'll be ready. So we're still going to keep it in the same medium-low heat. So like I said, 5 more minutes, and we'll come back and check on them. Alright, I know I said we'll check back in 5 minutes, but since these have really good signs of the char and the crispifying, whatever word, I don't even know if that's a word, we're checking back in about 2 to 3 minutes. So let's go ahead and flip them back to the seasoning side up. Like I said, you want to make sure you get under them in case it's stuck. Alright, so I like mine very well done. I know that kind of looks a little crisp, but when you put some lime and sriracha, it's very delicious. So at this point, you can just go ahead and turn it off. Again, if now we press down, there's pretty much no juice, so we know it's fully cooked. And you can just let it sit here for a few minutes, just to let it kind of regain some of the moisture and just finish cooking with the leftover heat. And once they cool down a little bit, I'll go ahead and get it ready on the meal, so you can see how I like to prepare it. Alright, so here we have the finished product. This is about half a cup of rice, and I also like to accompany it with a couple of slices of avocado. If you want to learn how to make this brown rice, I have the recipe on my YouTube channel, and I'll post a link for it as well. So I go ahead and put some lime on pretty much everything, and then get some delicious spicy sriracha. Go ahead and line it up on the ground turkey, and boom, you got yourself a delicious, healthy, and hearty meal. So thanks for joining me here at MPF Cooking, and I hope you tune in to the next episode. Thank you.